Hello everyone, it is Jayden and welcome to The Alpha, the show where we talk about the hottest topics in pop culture and sports. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button on the video, and if you enjoy my commentary and myself truly as always, be sure to tap that subscribe button and to hit that notification bell to get notified when all my videos go live. I love you guys so much. Peace, love, and positivity always, y'all. See ya. We pretty much know what Shedeur had up against him leading into this game. The whole world and the weight of the world probably felt like it was on his shoulders during this game. And Shedeur Sanders essentially went out and balled. Now, to give a little backstory to this, I knew this game was going to be live around 7 p.m. Eastern time, my time. I was actually working at the time, so I wasn't able to watch this game live. I had to go back and essentially watch tape. NFL posted a nice little clip of all of Shedeur's pass attempts, pretty much. So that's what I pretty much got a look for, because I couldn't go back and record the game. But from what I saw, the highlights that I saw from the video, and for some other tapes here and there that they've shown throughout the game, Shedeur Sanders was amazing. First NFL game. All the pressure and the weight on his shoulders going into this game. And the kid put on an absolute, I don't want to say a clinic because he wasn't exceptionally well. He was 14 for 23, just above the 60% mark. He had a lot of room to improve because there was, and from his tape I saw there was a couple of gimmies that were from wide open guys that got away from him. But overall, his debut was amazing. It was a great debut. Again, I'm gonna preface this again. I know I'm beating a dead horse here. With all the things that Shedeur has had to deal with leading up to this game, with him dropping so far in the draft, with all the quarterbacks that got picked in front of him, with all the drama going on with the Browns and everybody speculating that the Browns originally didn't want the kid, he went out there and put on a great performance in the face of all of that adversity. He looked like the Shedeur Sanders that we saw year one at Jackson State. And then when people were questioning his competition, he moved to Colorado with his dad. And for the past 2 years, he was playing exceptional, and that game transferred into Friday night. He was poised in the pocket. He sat in the pocket and made some throws. He was not scared of pressure. He used his feet and his legs when he absolutely needed to. And my most favorite trait about Shedeur Sanders is the fact that he throws a phenomenal football, in my opinion. He doesn't have the best arm strength. He does not have a shotgun for an arm like a Josh Allen, like a Patrick Mahomes, like a Dan Marino, like a Joe Montana. But he has a super accurate arm. The ball is there with great touch and great timing. Specifically, I want to say it was maybe his first touchdown pass that he threw, and it may not be, but you guys will know what I'm talking about. He had the bootleg. Well, it wasn't the bootleg, but he drifted out to the left side, throwing it pretty much across his body, squaring up with his target, throwing a little nice touch pass in the back left corner of the end zone, over in an area where it was 2 or 3 defenders. It was a very hard ball to throw, and he completed that pass in that short of a needle. It was a phenomenal pass. It was an elite quarterback. It was a Patrick Mahomes-esque, Jayden Daniels-esque type accuracy throw. He was exceptionally well. He was exceptionally well all night, even though he had a couple of gimmies that, again, like I said, he had a couple of gimme throws. There was specifically one where I saw he was drifting off to his left. Linebacker was coming in his face. Easy little touch dump pass over the top to the tight end or the running back. I don't know who was ever. It was right there. He was 10 yards up the field, probably not even that, maybe 5. And then he threw a wobbly football and he overshot him pretty much. He was wide open. He could have maybe got 10, 20, 30 yards off of that yak. I don't know. But, outside of that, it was a great game. He played well going into the fourth quarter, and then he got subbed out. And as we speak right now, Adam Schefter tweeted that out today that they have updated the depth chart. And if you could take a wild guess where Shedeur Sanders is currently at on that depth chart, he's went nowhere. He is staying put at number 4. There's no reason for me to believe. Specifically Kenny Pickett, we've seen what Joe Flacco has been able to do. But the thing with Joe Flacco is he is getting older. Who knows if he's going to be able to play as well as he did on the Browns like he did 2 years ago, to where he led them going into the playoffs. He didn't have a great playoff game because C.J. Stroud and the guys, that was C.J. Stroud's coming out party in the NFL, that playoff series. He played a phenomenal playoff game. But I've seen Kenny Pickett play. We have not seen Dillon Gabriel at the quarterback position in the NFL, but even in college. I didn't hear about Dillon Gabriel until his very first year at Oklahoma. And then when he transferred to Oregon his second year. Well, it wasn't his second year, but that's when I first caught up with Dillon Gabriel. And I've never really loved Dillon Gabriel's game. He's a left-handed quarterback. He's naturally does not have a strong arm for a left-handed quarterback. I don't think he processes the field really well. And I don't think he was the main contributor to the reason why Oregon had a great record that they had. I just think he had a great and phenomenal supporting cast, offensively and defensively. And a great coach in Dan Lanning. So, after watching Shedeur on Friday night, there's no reason for me to believe that Shedeur Sanders should be at least second on the depth chart, only behind Joe Flacco. You really only have Joe Flacco in front of Shedeur Sanders for veteran reasons, because you want to go with the veteran guy leading into the season, and you want to do a Patrick Mahomes type transition where Alex Smith was the starter, and then eventually in the middle of the season, Patrick Mahomes was able to take over the reins. Same thing with Aaron Rodgers, with Jordan Love, even though Jordan Love sat on the bench for 2 whole years. But you cannot tell me that what Shedeur Sanders put on tape on Friday night is not better than anything we've seen from Kenny Pickett or Dillon Gabriel in college. Because I don't see a scenario where Dillon Gabriel would have had anywhere close to as good of a game as Shedeur Sanders would have had on Friday night. I cannot really vividly tell you a Kenny Pickett-led offensive game that blew my socks off when he was at Pittsburgh and when he got traded to the Eagles. When he got traded to the Eagles, he had that one game against Dallas. But I've not seen Kenny Pickett absolutely knock my socks off. Shedeur Sanders has every single trait that you want in a quarterback. Outside of maybe and arguably, this is going to be the number one thing that people will go up against him, but it's his attitude off the field. On the field, he's a baller. All the mannerisms he had throughout the game, he reminded me of his father. And there's a lot of stuff that Shedeur Sanders does off the field that it is hard to fall in love with. And I am totally understandable of that. Colin Cowherd specifically is one of those who have been very, very vocal about his off-the-field antics. I think he done a show today where he specifically pointed out how when it comes to the Browns and these type of quarterbacks, he's been right about Johnny Manziel, he's been right about Baker Mayfield, and he's been right about Deshaun Watson. So in Colin Cowherd's eyes, Colin Cowherd said he's 3 for 3, and that the Cleveland fan base is 0 for 3. So I don't know if essentially I'm getting conflicted type of things with Colin Cowherd. I know I'm going a little off topic, but I don't know if he's really rooting for Shedeur from his Twitter post and what he even tweeted reacting to the depth chart. I think he's really internally rooting for Shedeur, but I just don't think Colin's in absolute love with Shedeur like everybody else is just because of his off-the-field stuff. And I do admit he does have to clean that up. But outside of that, I think he has the leadership on the field, now off the field, that can hurt his leadership type ordeals to a certain degree. But in my opinion, on the football field as a leader, he excels at that. He looks the part. He plays like a quarterback. He runs through his progressions really well. He throws a great football. He has pretty good technique and feet work. And he has poise in the pocket. He is not scared to get in that pocket and become a pocket passer. Because there's a lot of quarterbacks in today's league who love to just run first type of guy. Shedeur Sanders he is a pocket quarterback, just like Tom Brady was. His game actually does remind me of Tom Brady a whole lot. He is going to sit in that pocket, and he is going to make sure he gets that ball rather than run the football. Now, he has said that he wants to implement that in his game, but that is a great thing for Shedeur to have. So overall, I thought he had a fantastic debut. I'm looking forward to see more of him more in the future. And more importantly, I think he is super deserving of the number 2 spot on the depth chart. And he needs to get some reps with the 1s and the 2s at practice. He's only been getting reps with the 3s. I don't even know if he's even got any reps with the 2s, but I know for sure he has definitely got no reps at all with the 1s. He absolutely deserves it. But it's a point that I saw on Shannon Sharp's podcast when I was listening this morning. And Shannon Sharp was reading this from, he's an inside reporter for the Cleveland Browns. If Shedeur Sanders doesn't get 1s or 2s reps, there's no reason for me to believe that he is ever going to get second on the depth chart. He is going to absolutely stay where he's at. We're just going to have to wait and see how it plays out. I even saw a report today that came out that teams are really eyeing Dillon Gabriel right now as a potential trade partner. We're just going to have to wait and see how everything plays out. Overall, Shedeur had a fantastic performance. And again, I'm looking to see what the kid has on display in the coming games, and especially Mr. Dillon Gabriel, because we are going to be getting our very first look at Mr. Dillon Gabriel in the upcoming game, hopefully coming off of that hamstring injury, as long as possibly with Kenny Pickett as well. What do you guys think? And also, we'll probably discuss the Shedeur thing off the field when he was actually talking with the radio guy in Cleveland. I think it's Tony Grossi. Oh yeah, a little bit to say about Tony Grossi. We'll probably discuss that in a future show. But I want to know your comments down below. Let me know what you guys think.